Okay, what I'm going to show you now is how to mount up your work. Now, if you are in my class, you know that I've got this piece of Perspex and it fits the exact size for a page in your book when you put a border around it. So it's not actually A4, it's 184 by 274, and that there, it's just right. It's just the nice size to fit in your book. So if you haven't got a bit of plastic, you know that all you have to do is measure that distance with a ruler, so when you rip down you actually don't get it bigger, then you can mount it up onto another piece of paper. What I've got is a piece of paper that we use in class. This of course wasn't done on that, this was just done on a magazine where I've ripped out pages from a book or a magazine. So I'm going to show you how to rip down a piece of work. So I've got this piece of work, it's a photocopy from a book, so, but it will do. So I'm going to just go through how to do it. One of the things that works well when you rip them things down, so if you were ripping a big picture down, that would rip down really easily, and you get a lovely straight edge. The nicer the paper, the thicker the paper, the nicer the decal edge, by the way. So you could see that that's got a lovely decal edge along there because it was a thicker paper. If you've got a thin paper, you don't get that so much. So there, on that edge, I put that up to the edge of a book or a table, because when you have a small overhang, it becomes harder to rip down. So that gets ripped down. I'm doing this particular picture because it's more difficult, because you will find that if you do something with a smaller overhang, it becomes more difficult. So I chose a difficult one to do just so you know that it's possible. And there is the last edge. And then what I'm going to do is stick this down. Now obviously if you've got double-sided, you're sorted. If you haven't, you're going to have to use a Pritt stick or a glue. If you use a PVA glue, you have to be careful because you want to have that thick, so, or not so watery, because you don't want your paper to wrinkle. You could actually, leave it out to dry. PVA wood glue will do it if you've got some at home. That then will get stuck on a piece of paper, and it doesn't matter how you stick it on. Even if it got stuck on an angle, it wouldn't matter, because what you need to do is get the 1/2 centimeter mark up to the paper there. Nicer, longer overhang, it rips really nice. So and what I always do is stick that on a piece of paper and rip the edges off, rather than ripping the edges off and trying to position it exactly right. This way it becomes a lot easier. And that is a picture that you've mounted up and then you can put in your book. Now, ways to get round this. So let's say I'm sticking this in my book and I haven't got double-sided. I could always get a ruler. I've seen students do this before. They get a ruler and they get little edges like this, and they tape down their pictures in their book like that. And they obviously I've got to get that nice and straight. And then they tape down the edges like that. And in fact, on this piece of paper which I mark out so I can put the book in the right place, I've done the same. And I have seen students go back in their book, even though the pages have been stuck down with double-sided, and actually put that through their book, so later on they've used this and they've gone back and just marked out their book like that. So that is another way that you can actually lay out the pictures in your book.